Appraisals. This is something that's in the news right now, and we're talking a lot about. My name is Paul Hayes with eXp Realty, and today we're going to be covering 3 different things about appraisals: what they are, appraisal gaps, and should you get a pre-appraisal. So let's start by talking about what is an appraisal. So an appraisal is a estimate of value conducted by a licensed appraiser. And their job is to come in and take a look at your house and check things out like square footage, number of bedrooms, bathrooms, condition, checking to see if the information that we put forth in the multiple listing service matches up to what they're seeing when they actually go and visit the property. So they're often working specifically for the bank or on the buyer side of the transaction. And so that's something that we'll keep in mind, and we'll talk about in a little bit. Okay, so now that we've talked about who does the appraisal, let's talk about the other topic that is really hot right now, and that's an appraisal gap. So an example of this is your home sells for $420,000. The appraisal is then done, and their appraised value actually comes in at $400,000. So we have a $20,000 gap in perceived value. So because of that, there's going to be some negotiations that take place possibly, and some conversations around that appraisal gap. And we're seeing that a lot right now because with the prices appreciating, we're seeing offers, multiple offers, people putting in bids that push values up to where an appraiser might think it should be valued. So we're seeing things like appraisal gap contingencies in offers. We're seeing ways to mitigate the risk for either side. So those are conversations that we'll have, and maybe we'll even do another video about appraisal gaps. The next topic is, should you get a pre-appraisal? So this is an interesting thing, and I get a lot of questions about this. And selling a home can be expensive. Appraisals can be expensive. You're talking about $400 to $700 for an appraisal. And the thing about it is, if you pay to have an appraisal done up front before actually listing the property, really, in a lot of cases, that's just going to be a sunk cost that you're never going to get back. And I, as an agent, I'm looking at the same information that an appraiser is looking at, and my job is to set the market price to help you maximize the sale of your house, where an appraiser, as I said earlier, they're looking at things from a risk perspective for the bank, for the buyer. So really, it's not in your best interest financially to get an appraisal up front. What you're looking for probably is a market analysis. I hope this answered the questions you had about appraisals. If you have any other questions, again, my name is Paul Hayes with eXp Realty, and I look forward to serving you.